Let me ask you something, and I want you to be honest with yourself. You wake up every morning. You go to work. You hustle. You try to be responsible with your money. Maybe you even put a little aside every month. But at the end of the year, you sit down, you look at your bank account, and nothing has really changed. Nothing. You're still stressed about the same bills. Still wondering if you'll ever get ahead. Still feeling like you're running on a treadmill that never stops. And deep down, maybe at 2 a.m. when you can't sleep, a voice whispers, "Is this it? Will I ever actually make it before I turn 30? I know that feeling. And I want you to know something important right now. It is not your fault. But it is your responsibility. Because here's the truth that nobody around you is saying out loud. It's not your salary that's the problem. It's not the economy. It's not bad luck. It's not where you were born or how you were raised. It's 5 very specific mistakes. Mistakes that are so common, so normalized, that most people make them every single day without even realizing it. And these mistakes are silently, slowly, killing your financial future. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what they are. No fluff. No motivation speech that goes nowhere. Just the raw truth, and what you can actually do about it, starting today. Stay with me until the end. Because this might be the most important 8 minutes you spend this year. My name is Faggy, and I've been obsessed with one question for years now. Why do some people, with average incomes, average backgrounds, no inheritance, manage to build real wealth before 30, while others work twice as hard their entire life and still end up broke? It's not intelligence. It's not connections. It's not luck. After studying personal finance for years, reading hundreds of books, interviewing people who made it early, and honestly, after making most of these mistakes myself, I found the answer. It always comes back to the same 5 mistakes. Every single time. So let's get into it. Mistake number 1. You are selling your time, and only your time, and you think that's normal. Here's the brutal reality of a traditional job that nobody explains to you when you're starting out. You work 8 hours. You get paid for 8 hours. You rest. The money stops. You go back. You work again. You get paid again. Round and round. Forever. That is called linear income. And it is the single biggest financial trap of the middle class. Because no matter how hard you work, no matter how many extra hours you put in, there is a ceiling. A hard ceiling. And your time is finite. Now look at people who built wealth young. What did they do differently? They understood early, sometimes painfully early, that you need to build systems that make money even when you're not working. Money that moves while you sleep, while you eat, while you're on vacation. That is called passive income or leveraged income. And before you think this is some fantasy, let me be clear. It doesn't mean sitting on a beach doing nothing. It means building something once, a YouTube channel, an online course, a small investment portfolio, a digital product, a business with a team, and letting that thing generate income repeatedly, without you having to start from zero every single morning. Ask yourself this question right now, and be honest. If I stopped working tomorrow, got sick, got fired, just stopped, would any money still come in? If the answer is no, then you are 100% dependent on your employer for your survival. And that is a dangerous place to be. The goal isn't to quit your job tomorrow. The goal is to build a second engine, slowly, consistently, alongside your main income. Something that grows every month, even when you're not looking. Start small. Start ugly. But start. Mistake number 2. Every time you earn more money, you spend more money, and you call it a reward. This one hurts. Because it feels so natural. So deserved. You get a promotion. You land a better client. You get a bonus. And what happens? Suddenly you need a better phone. A nicer apartment. More dinners out. Better clothes. A newer car. Your income goes up by 20%. Your expenses quietly go up by 25%. And you end up, mathematically, objectively, poorer than you were before the raise. This is called lifestyle inflation. And it is one of the most dangerous financial forces in the world because it's invisible. It doesn't feel like a mistake. It feels like progress. I see this constantly. People earning 3, 4, 5 times the average salary, still stressed, still living paycheck to paycheck, still one bad month away from a crisis. Because every time they earned more, they spent more. And the gap never closed. Here's the principle that changes everything. When your income goes up, keep your lifestyle exactly the same, and invest every single dollar of the difference. Even if it's just for 1 year. 18 months. The discomfort is temporary. The results are permanent. That difference between what you earn and what you actually spend. That is your wealth gap. And the wider that gap, the faster you escape financial mediocrity. Here's something that might surprise you. Truly wealthy people, people who built real money before 40, often don't look wealthy while they are building it. They drive ordinary cars. They live in normal neighborhoods. They wear basic clothes. They invest quietly, consistently, without showing off. Because they understand something most people don't. The flashy lifestyle is the reward that comes after the wealth is built. Not before. Mistake number 3. You never actually learned how money works, and you never tried. And I want to say this clearly. This is not your fault. The educational system failed you here. Completely. You learned algebra. You learned the history of ancient civilizations. You learned how to write an essay. But nobody, not one teacher, not one class, taught you how compound interest works and why it's the most powerful force in personal finance. Nobody explained what an index fund is, what an ETF is, why inflation is quietly eating your savings, or how to legally pay less in taxes and use that money to build wealth. Financial ignorance has a price, and it is brutally expensive. Let me give you one number that I want you to never forget. If you invest just $100 per month, that's it, $100, starting at age 22, with an average annual return of 8%. By the time you're 45 years old, you will have accumulated over $100,000. $100,000. From $100 a month. But wait, what if you procrastinate? What if you tell yourself I'll start investing later, when I earn more? What if you start at 32 instead of 22? Same $100. Same 8% return. Same discipline. You end up with less than half. Less than half, because you waited 10 years. That is the cost of financial ignorance. Not in theory. In real money. Your money. Time is the most powerful financial tool you have. And right now, you are burning it. Every single day you wait is a day of compound growth you will never get back. So here is your challenge. Read one personal finance book this month. Just one. Start with Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki if you're completely new to this. Then move to The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Then The Millionaire Next Door. 30 minutes a day of financial education will do more for your life than almost any raise ever could. Mistake number 4. You are living with no safety net and no written plan, and you're hoping things just work out. Hope is not a strategy. Here's what happens to most people, and maybe you recognize this. Life hits you. It always does. The car breaks down. There's a medical emergency. You lose your job. A family member needs help. An unexpected bill arrives. And because you have zero buffer, zero emergency savings, you panic. You reach for the credit card. You take out a loan. You borrow from someone. And just like that, you're in debt. And debt is one of the most devastating enemies of wealth, because debt means you are paying interest every single month. Money leaving your pocket. Going into someone else's. Making a bank or a lender richer, while you stay stuck. So before you think about investing, before you think about starting a business, before anything else, you need one thing. An emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of your basic expenses. In cash. In a separate account. Untouchable. I know it sounds boring. I know it's not exciting. But this is the foundation. Without it, one bad week, just one, can erase years of financial progress. And once that foundation is solid, you need a plan. A real one. Not a vague idea in your head that sounds like I want to be rich one day. Where do you want to be financially in exactly 12 months? What specific number do you want in your savings account? What debt do you want eliminated? What investment do you want to have started? A vague wish is not a plan. A specific number attached to a specific deadline is a plan. Say it out loud right now. By December 31st, I will have $3,000 in my emergency fund. Write it down. Put it somewhere you see it every day. Review it every month. Studies consistently show that people who write down their financial goals are significantly more likely to achieve them. Not because writing is magic, but because clarity drives action. And action drives results. Mistake number 5, and I saved this one for last because it's the hardest to hear and the hardest to fix. The people around you are quietly shaping your financial destiny, and you're letting it happen. There is a saying that has been proven true in psychology, in sociology, in business, in life. You become the average of the people you spend the most time with. Not just in habits, not just in attitude, in your beliefs about money, in what you think is possible for someone like you. in how you see risk, opportunity, sacrifice, and success. If the people closest to you believe that investing is a scam for rich people, that talking about money is shameful, that wanting more is being greedy, that nobody from here ever really makes it, those beliefs will infiltrate you. Slowly, invisibly, until they become yours. Not because you're weak, but because humans are wired for social conformity. We become like our environment. It is biological. So look at the 5 people you spend the most time with. Are they growing? Are they learning? Are they building something? Do they talk about opportunities or only about problems? Do they celebrate your wins? Or do they subtly make you feel guilty for wanting more? You don't have to cut people off. This is not about abandoning your family or your oldest friends. But you absolutely need to add new people to your life. People who are already where you want to go. Communities, online or in person, where ambition is normal, where financial growth is discussed openly, where your goals are understood instead of mocked. Because here's the reality. If you stay in an environment that doesn't support your growth, you will spend an enormous amount of energy just fighting to stay motivated. But if you find an environment that pulls you forward, everything becomes easier. Your network is your net worth. Guard your circle like your financial life depends on it. Because it does. So let's bring it all together. The 5 mistakes that are silently preventing you from building wealth before 30. 1. Selling your time and only your time, with no system generating income without you. 2. Inflating your lifestyle every time your income grows, closing the gap that should be building your future. 3. Staying financially uneducated in a world where financial knowledge is the highest paying skill. 4. Living without a safety net and without a clear, written, specific financial plan. 5. Surrounding yourself with people whose beliefs and habits are pulling you away from the life you want. None of these mistakes are permanent. Not a single one. Every one of them can be reversed, with awareness, with decision, and with consistent action over time. You don't need to fix everything at once. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to pick one thing from this video, make a decision today, and start moving in the right direction. Because wealth before 30 is not a myth. It's not a privilege reserved for people born into the right family or the right country. It is built, brick by brick, month by month, decision by decision, by ordinary people who simply decided to stop making these 5 mistakes. The only question is, are you ready to be one of them? If this video gave you something real today, do one thing for me. Share it with one person in your life who needs to hear this. One friend, one sibling, one colleague. One person who is working hard but still feels stuck. And if you want to go deeper, subscribe right now. Because next week, I'm breaking down exactly how to build your first stream of passive income from absolute zero, even if you have no experience, no capital, and no connections. You don't want to miss that one. I'll see you there. Take care of yourself, and take care of your money.